Hi friends, thanks for watching. I just wanted to do a little video about my experience as a renter and resident in Missoula off and on the past 6 years. So pretty much the housing here is unregulated and it's not up to code, it's not safe, it's not habitable, and um, landlords are being taxed, and so of course they want to get, they want to make a profit, and while getting taxed by the city for all sorts of public works projects that the city wants to do. And some of the public work seems to almost be to the detriment of the people who live here, like narrowing the roads, making bike lanes, and there's like 5 bicyclists, and everybody's a driver. Even those bicyclists are drivers. Um, so they're making it difficult for drivers in order to kind of keep up appearances with the rest of the country, and it's not an equivalent city to San Francisco or even Portland. And my point is, if you watch my renter gulag videos, you'll get all the details. For instance, at present, I live in a building. It's a vacuum sealed building, and it's a tax shelter building where you have to be under the poverty level to live here. So, of course, it's going to be low income folks, fixed income people. And so this is a vacuum sealed building, and my room happens to be right next to the boiler, right next to the dryer. The woman who lived in this room before me died a couple months ago. Died, and that's how I got this room. And so that was a little alarming. Like, okay, so am I going to catch some disease? And I was assured that the person who I knew uh, uh, just had a chronic illness and she caught something in the hospital. So, fast forward from a couple months ago when I interviewed to move in here to yesterday, and I found out I have this Class A bioterrorism grade level infection called tularemia. It's known as cat scratch fever, and it kills people. And I have a definitive uh, blood serum for this. And it tends to have like a 3 month period of disease, and then you're over it. So I've been here 2 months and I've been feeling absolutely terrible, uh, feeling like I'm losing my mind, and nobody's given me answers until yesterday. Um, and of course, I'm sure my friends and the people who are my care providers think that I'm just this annoying lady. Um, but fortunately, I found out about this infection, and it's a deadly infection. And I just wanted to share what I have done because I felt something was really bad. I felt like I was dying. I felt like I was going to die. So this place, it's a vacuum sealed place, and there's no ventilation in this room. So I have set up a fan, and I removed the screen so I could get some air. And even with the screen removed, even with the window right open, I can barely get any air. Like, I turn off the fan to do a video because the fan is so loud. But already I can feel like faint because there's no air going on. And I'm also dealing with Lyme co-infections like Babesia, Bartonella, Babesia, or Ehrlichia, Rickettsia, probably, a lot of those bugs. So I'm dealing with a lot. But anyways, so I have the fan going for air. And when I first moved in, I mean, it was just so stifling, stuffy in this building. Um, So I was just, opening up windows and running fans, and um, like the vent for the dryer of this building went right to my window. So even now, I still get people's highly fragrance laundry soap fragrances coming through the window. But I did have to ask the landlord to um, extend the venting from under my window, so it wasn't right under my window. So I've been feeling really bad, and I just wanted to tell you what seems to have helped me from dying from this crazy infection called tularemia. And one thing about Montana is you won't see any statistics. Like, everything's fine, you know? Like, there's zero, like when I went to the infectious diseases doctor to find out about Lyme disease, he's like, there's no Lyme in Montana. Now, that's utterly ridiculous. It's 2019. You have a lot of people who come from other countries, other parts of the United States that are Lyme endemic, and they bring Lyme ticks here. And not only can people who have just done a road trip from New York or taken the airplane from New York, not only can they have a tick, piggyback on their socks or something, but if a person is infected with Lyme and a tick stings that person, that tick gets Lyme. And then that tick can uh, disseminate Lyme as well. Not to mention, Willie Burgdorfy was in Hamilton, Montana, and he released hard-shell ticks to Montana. So that there's this complete disconnect about Lyme disease here in Montana is criminal, in my opinion. And so this goes, though, like, this is Montana. You won't see statistics for stuff that you will see in North Carolina or New Mexico. So now Montana just doesn't have any problems. What they do is they don't tell you, they don't report problems. So if you're in some place and um, there's something going on there, it's likely happening in Montana, and it's probably even worse because it's not being reported. And the culture here is, because there's a lot of alcoholism and drug use, everybody's doing the 12-step program. And what the 12-step program tells you is just work on yourself. Don't confront anybody. Don't hold anybody accountable. So it's this big culture of, oh, well, that person's pickup truck ran over that car. Well, oh, I just need to be positive. I just need to think positive. A couple days ago, I heard about people in a car who were run over on a major street by somebody's pickup truck. And I just described the story to somebody, and they're just like, oh, well, like, so that's Montana. Like, when I moved here, I had no idea there could be such denial, and that's the name of the river that I think runs through Montana, particularly Missoula, is Denial. The biggest river in the world is in Montana, and it's called Denial. And it's heavily fortified by 12-step programs or self-help programs. Um, just everybody is just like, we can't do anything. We can't hold people accountable um, because that means we're being judgmental. So it's madness. Like, the inmates are running the asylum, and these inmates, these aren't the nice inmates. These are the sociopaths. And then the nice people, the decent people, the people with some sense of morality are just busy confining themselves to uh, some sort of standard of behavior rather than benefiting society with their valid perceptions. Like, people now, you're not supposed to say anything. Like, even my progressive liberal friends, like, you don't want to shame anybody. You can't shame anybody, and some people do need to be shamed. Some people have done wrong things. Some people are doing wrong things. So, and I want to put out the failure to manage disease like tularemia. It's like a biological warfare agent, and I have been infected. I'm not out there hunting in the woods or whatever. I live in a building that doesn't have proper ventilation, and the building manager, the property manager couldn't care less. The owners couldn't care less, and the city of Missoula could care less. The building inspectors could care less if I died. That somebody else had died. So, anyways, I'm alive, and I hope you guys remain alive as well. And I wanted to just review some of the vitamins I happen to be taking, which I suspect are why I'm alive. So I really like high DHA fish oil, and I recommend getting fish oil from people from companies that specialize in fish oil. Like I wouldn't recommend like you know Jarrow fish oils or whatever, because you want something what people specialize, especially for something like fish oil. Uh, I I've been I've, in the past I had good benefit with liposomal vitamin C, and it's just I guess it's like fat soluble, or it's in a fat. Um, and I haven't felt benefit from liposomal vitamin C, but that could be because I have tularemia and I'm trying not to die. So I've been taking Saccharomyces because that's another good one for one of the Lyme and co-infections, and I'm just taking PB cheap probiotics because I've just been feeling terrible. So I've been taking some vitamin K too, and I also eat Brazil nuts and along with seaweed. And I find that Brazil nuts, which is high in selenium, it prevents me from getting like this rash. Like it almost feels like a cold sore on my skin. And what it is when seaweed mobilizes all the chlorine and bromine and I think even fluoride, but the bromines, and that just causes like blisters to form. So when I eat seaweed with Brazil nuts, it I don't get that. So here in Montana, there's a company called Natural Grocers, and this product, memory support, because I've been having like the worst cognitive impairment I've ever had in my life. Um, like this has bacopa, phosphatidylserine, N-acetylcysteine, L-tyrosine, ALA, and this also has Japanese knotweed, 20 milligrams, and that's good for Lyme. And then vinpocetine and huperzine A. But I got this mainly for the Japanese knotweed. So I've been taking St. John's wort because I've just been feeling aggravated, which might be due to the tularemia. Off and on, I've been taking lion's mane, which is supposed to be a mitochondrial support, and of course that's fungi perfecti. Then I'm taking Buplerium lemmerclins, which has cypress, rhizome, donquai, fennel, dandelion, milk thistle, Chinese peony, wild yam, Buplerium, lycium, ginger, and Chinese skullcap. And I got this because it has Chinese skullcap, which is supposed to be another good Lyme product, like to help address Lyme. So shilajit fulvic acid. So I heard that that was good for mitochondria, so I got that. And I've been trying this. In the past I found this to be helpful, valerian, helpful for um, kind of calming down and but it's weird. I take it at night and it makes me hyper lately. So in the past, I had great success with B5 pantethine, but again, I'm not really noticing a difference. However, it could be because I'm trying not to die of the plague. So I'm taking this enzymatic therapy. It was on sale. It's cat's claw, inositol, and maitake. That's why I got it. It has maitake, and so this is supposed to help killer cell activity. And off and on, I've been taking good old grapefruit seed extract, and sometimes I take tinctures. It's just that they're so strong. But now that I know, I just found out yesterday that I have this plague, this tularemia. So lomatium is supposed to be a good antiviral, so I'm gonna be up in that. And then I got the tincture of cat's claw and andrographis. So I've been taking andrographis for a while, and cat's claw as well. And then I'm taking red root. And so red root is a good lymphatic, and apparently I think tularemia has something to do with lymph. And andrographis is a Lyme, like just known for a Lyme remedy. So I think that's it. So yeah, I think just trying to, being that my room is so stuffy and then it gets super hot, I'm also trying to make sure to cool down the room. So until I get a humidifier I can stand, because it's a small room and having a lot of noises, like already there's a building fan that's so loud it my ears is impaired after a night of sleeping next to the window. So right now I'm actually sleeping in the closet because even though I have a blackout curtain, people like to come and park outside my window and keep their floodlights on at my window at 1 in the morning. So not only am I having the sound, but I'm having people's floodlights, not to mention the parking lot light disturbing my sleep. So, so I'm sleeping in the closet, and then I'm running the fan at night, and that seems to cool the room down. But I do have, I've got these beans that I kept in the freezer, and they do, they are cool. And so I'm just trying to make sure, because when I've been trying to fall asleep, and my room is right next to the boiler, right next to the dryer, and not only is this building vacuum sealed, but the crawl space around the apartment is where the entire volume of all the air of this building is vented. So my room is muggy and damp from just all the air of all the apartments. So if somebody's sick, our apartment is going to get possibly saturated in that, just because we are the vent channel for the whole building. So so I'm just finding that I need to be able to cool down at night, because I've just been roasting for hours because of the way this building is built. And that's just Montana. That's just, you don't have to build something to code here. Maybe you just bribe somebody. Maybe that's what the racket is, along with overcharging people for a death trap, because that's basically what you get here as a renter. And the thing is, you're like, oh, I'm lucky to have this death trap of a place. If I can just like live through it. So, and and I talk to people I know here, and they're like, yeah, it's too bad, and it's just like maybe this is the way it is or all over the country. Like when I talk to people about wanting a change, they're like, well, where else? There's no place else to go. And I'm just hoping that it's just the crabs in the barrel kind of situation where people here don't think that there's anything better, but I hope there's something better. I know there's something better, and I just need to break out of the brainwashing, the mental, uh, whatever it is, the hypnosis here. Um, and I gotta say, the reason why people stay is uh, if your apartment doesn't kill you, and if the reckless drivers here don't kill you, um, you can enjoy beautiful scenery and and of course, if you grew up here and your family's here, you're gonna like that. But for somebody who's relocated here, you're not a third generation Montanan, and that is very important to people here. And I had no idea that kind of thing existed in the north. I'm from New York City, and I just figured everybody's a Yankee up north. No, Montana, you're not. They call it Montucky, and I think that there's like a disclosure there. Like Montana is kind of the hills, I guess you could say, of the West. And um, like I talked to somebody from Montana, and she was like, "Yeah, people think Montanans are stupid," and uh, I think number one, there's a lot of Montanans who have there's more uh, adults I've seen in college and just around who I suspect have fetal alcohol syndrome. Like, so people drink here, and it's just too bad if the child has fetal alcohol syndrome. Um, and so there's a lot of unnecessary mental or like impaired cognition here, and because it's like you just have to accept things as it is, and that's why I keep talking about the gulag. I feel like Montana's like a Russia. It's like an American Russia, and in the gulag, uh, you know, uh, you're just supposed to accept things as it is, be happy, and maybe the nepotism will work in your favor, maybe the favoritism will work in your favor. Um, maybe you'll be protected by the leverage of your family or your spouse's family. Uh, and to viewers who are watching from like a major city and stuff, and never really had to be in that situation, like you'll understand how creepy that is. And then there's people who are opportunists who are like, oh, that sounds great, that sounds normal. Um, so I never benefited from that. I never knew how to work the political angle like that. And it's very political. It's very cliquey here, and I just think it's inhumane, honestly. And so, anyways, so I'm having sweats from my plague. So I'm gonna just stop the video. But so you know, the point is just to always make sure you're taking care of yourself. You're hydrating. Um, make sure you have fresh air in your home, and that you're getting some sunlight, and that you're in a psychologically supportive place, community. So, and if you guys have recommendations of where's a great place to live, as somebody who doesn't have, three generations of family there, where's a good place to live if you're wanting to relocate and you're a highly motivated, well-informed, health-conscious person. Um, and of course, I don't have $1 million. So, anyways, if you have suggestions, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.